Arey Harshit bhai.
Arey Sagar bhai. Welcome,
In USA.
Welcome. Arey, it's New York, Sagar bhai.
And we are in Wall Street.
We are in Wall Street for the World Rapid Blitz Championship. Such an exciting atmosphere, Sagar bhai.
Day 1 and it was filled with outstanding games, some amazing stuff. And by the way, look at the playing hall. Right now, a few of the lights are off. This is 55 Cipriani.
Wall Street.
Yes, in Wall Street. And I thought that this venue is brilliant. What did you feel, Harshit?
This is an absolutely brilliant venue. Look at this, what we have in front of us. Magnus Carlsen is participating in an event, but Sagar bhai, he did not have such a good event.
Yeah, he started off like terribly. Maybe it's his worst start ever at World Rapid Championship. He's on 2.5 out of 5. And he was completely off color. In fact, Harshit bhai, he could have even been on 2 points. He was losing in one of those games that he drew.
So the first day hasn't gone so well, but of course, it's still 8 more games, so anything can happen. Sagar bhai, can you tell us the moment of the day from Magnus's day today?
So Magnus is playing here with the black pieces. His opponent is the very talented youngster Denis Lazovic. And here in this position, you know, Magnus could have normally castled and this position looks around equal, but he went G5. And usually when Magnus does something like this, you are like, okay, Magnus has calculated everything and he's, you know, in the flow. But today it just went wrong. The rook was attacked, Magnus castled, and after the bishop went back here on bishop G3, it felt like this king side was slightly weakened. And then Magnus went even further here, and when H3 was played, he went G4, takes. The knight went back and now this pawn became weak. So Magnus defended, but the queen came back and very soon the G pawn was completely lost.
Yeah,
and this
is just good, very good for white, and we can see how the youngsters in this tournament are not at all afraid to play against players like Magnus.
I can literally sense that Denis Lazovic was like, okay, I have got things under control and I can beat Magnus. It was not the case in yesteryears. You know, he used to kind of intimidate his opponents, but that's what the young generation is all about.
And talking about young generation, we have Raunak Sadhwani, the star of Indian team today.
Yes.
So if you can just come over on the other side, and I'm going to show you how he was playing with the white pieces. He beat Firuz Ali Reza first with the black pieces. Here he was playing against Lu Shangli, world junior champion from China. Super nice plan that he did there. So already you can see how the knight on G5 and the pawn on E5 are controlling the dark squares, and the bishop on E8 is very passive. But there needs to be a breakthrough.
This is looking quite good for Raunak, yeah?
Looking really good for Raunak, but there needs to be a breakthrough. What's the breakthrough? G4. This was the powerful move found by Raunak. And the tactical explanation is that rook to B4, which usually would cause problems in white's plans, is met by queen takes B4, and after C takes B4, the rook takes on C7, as Sagar bhai pointed out, and white is completely winning in that position. So Lu Shangli took, queen takes G4. He played rook to C6, and another energetic move by Raunak, pawn to H5.
Let's go.
He was completely in a fiery mode today, because G takes H5 runs into knight takes E6 double check and queen G7 mate. So he couldn't take the pawn on H5. He played rook to B4, Lu Shangli. Queen G3 was played by Raunak, and after F6, this is such a nice move that Raunak found. Pawn to H6 check.
Oof.
Not only giving up a pawn, but the point being that after king takes H6, there is queen H3. Super important to put your queen on H3, so that after he takes the knight on G5, there is pawn to F4 check, and the rook on C2 is going to swing over, and black's king is getting mated now. So Lu Shangli tried to put his king back to H8, but after e takes F6, queen takes F6 and rook takes C5, Raunak went on to win a very, very nice game. Sagar bhai, this was a fantastic performance by Raunak, 4 out of 5.
I think Raunak Sadhwani is just proving what a monster he is at blitz and I mean short format, rapid and blitz. We had Arjun also who scored 4 out of 5. Prag was a little bit off color. He's on 3 out of 5. But I think Raunak and Arjun are the best performing Indian players. There's also Pranav who scored 3.5 points.
Who beat Ivanchuk in the last round. And we have another super interesting moment to show
No,
you.
not super interesting. This is the moment of the day. Like, there cannot be more drama that could happen in a chess game. Hikaru Nakamura is playing his game against Blue Bound, was it?
He was playing against. He was actually playing against Donchenko.
Donchenko. So
and it was a rook bishop versus rook position.
last 2 minutes.
No, so he said that for the past 5.
Sorry?
He said that for the past 5. It's been way too long.
We're just showing the last game. This is the last one. After this, we won.
Okay.
So, whatever action has to happen in a chess game, this was the ultimate one. Hikaru Nakamura has a rook and a bishop. His opponent has a rook. Donchenko is defending with all his might, and Hikaru is, trying his best. It's heading towards a draw. Suddenly, the opponent blunders and ends up in a mating net. And now at this moment, we thought the game is over. Hikaru has just moved his rook, threatening mate in 1. But all of a sudden, Donchenko stops the clock, calls the arbiter, and says, "Excuse me," and Harshit bhai, please
so
show.
basically, it all started from this position where white is threatening checkmate. So Donchenko defended with rook to a4. But finally, what happened was that white was able to make sure that black cannot escape from this mating pattern. And after king to h4, bishop f6 check, king h5, rook h5 check, it is mate in 1. Hikaru is completely winning. But then Donchenko with the last trick asked the arbiter if there has been 50 moves played in this position, and indeed it was exactly the 50th move at which Donchenko claimed a draw, and this completely winning position, that's the crazy part, ended up in a draw.
Yeah, and Hikaru took the draw. He was actually a little bit upset, but he took it in his stride. So right now we have 4 leaders who are on 4.5 points. Daniel Naroditsky is one of them. Shan Sargsyan
is one of them.
Dominguez. And then in the women's section, we have Alice Lee, who's leading with 4 out of 4.
And Harika is the Indian star in this women's event so far.
Right, and it's late in the night now, and we have to get going.
We also have to thank the people here, obviously, who are allowing us to do this. So,
thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. So great, exciting first day, Sagar bhai, and we'll be back tomorrow for round 2.
See you all tomorrow
Day
for
2.
more action. Bye-bye.